कुंज बिहारी जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी गोपी जना वल्लभ गिरिवरधारी जय गोपी जना वल्लभ गिरिवरधारी यशोदानंदन ब्रज जनरंजन यशोदानंदन ब्रज जनरंजन यमुना तीरावन चारी यमुना तीरावन चारी जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी गोपी जना वल्लभ गिरिवरधारी जय गोपी जना वल्लभ गिरिवरधारी यशोदानंदन ब्रज जनरंजन यशोदानंदन ब्रज जनरंजन यमुना तीरावनचारी यमुना तीरावनचारी जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी जय राधा रस बिहारी राधा रस बिहारी राधे जय सीताराम लक्ष्मण हनुमान सीताराम लक्ष्मण हनुमान जय गौर निताय गौर निताय गौर निताय जय गौर निताय जय जय प्रभुपाद 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 जय जय प्रभुपाद जय ओम विष्णुपाद परमहंस परिविराज कचार्य अष्टोत्तर श्री श्रीमद हिज डिवाइन ग्रेस अभय चरणारविंद भक्ति वेदांत स्वामी श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय ओम विष्णुपाद परमहंस परिविराज कचार्य अष्टोत्तर श्री श्रीमद हिज डिवाइन ग्रेस भक्ति सिद्धांत सरस्वती गोस्वामी श्रील प्रभुपाद की अनंत कोटि वैष्णव वृंद की नामाचार्य श्री हरिदास ठाकुर की जय। प्रेम से कहो श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद की जय। श्री श्री राधा कृष्ण गोप गोपीनाथ श्याम कुंड राधा कुंड गिरि गोवर्धन की जय। ब्रजभूमि वृंदावन धाम की जय। नवदीप मायापुर धाम की जय। पुरुषोत्तम क्षेत्र श्री जगन्नाथपुरी धाम की जय। गंगा माई जमुना माई की जय। भक्ति देवी तुलसी महारानी की जय। समवेद गौर भक्तवृंद की जय। All glories to assembled devotees, all glories to assembled devotees, all glories to assembled devotees, all glories, all glories, all glories to Sri Guru and Sri Gauranga. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Hare Krishna. So we are reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 10th, Chapter 47, chapter entitled The Song of the Bee, text 36 to text 40. So text 40 has the purport, we'll recite text 40. कच्चेत् गदाग्रजः सौम्या कच्चेत् गदाग्रजः सौम्या करोति पुरयोषितां करोति पुरयोषितां प्रीतिं न स्निग्धस्वर सवृदां प्रीतिं नः स्निग्धसर्विणां हासोदारेक्षणार्चितः हासोदारेक्षणार्चितः कच्चित् गदाग्रजः सौम्या करोति पुरयोषितां प्रीतिं न स्निग्धसवृणां हासोदारेक्षणार्चितः कच्चित् गदाग्रजः सौम्या करोति पुरयोषितां प्रीतिं न स्निग्धसवृणां हासोदारेक्षणार्चितः
कच्चित् गदाग्रजः सौम्या
कच्चित् गदाग्रजः सौम्या
करोति पुरयोषिता
करोति पुरयोषितः
प्रीतिं नः स्निग्धसवृणा हासोदारेक्षणार्चितः
कश्चिद्गदाग्रज सौम्या पुरयोषिताम् माताजी कश्चिद्गदाग्रज सौम्या word to word meaning. Kaschit, perhaps. Gada Agrajaha, Krishna, the elder brother of Gada. Saumya, O gentle. Uddhava, Karoti, is giving. Pura, of the city. Yoshita, for the women. Pritim, loving happiness. Naha, which belongs to us. Snigdha, affectionate. Savrida, and bashful. Hasa, with smiles. Udara, generous. Ikshana, by their glances. Architaha, worshipped. Translation and purport by the disciples of His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. Translation: Gentle Uddhava is the elder brother of Gada, now bestowing on the city woman the pleasure that actually belongs to us. We suppose those ladies worship him with generous glances full of affectionate, shy smiles. Manoram garam karo, thoda soft. Purport: the name Gada Agraja indicates Krishna, the elder brother of Agraja, of Gada, the first son of Devarakshita. She was a sister of Devaki, who was also married to Vasudeva. The gopis, by addressing Krishna in this way, indicate that he now thinks of himself mostly as the son of Devaki. The implication being that his connection with Vrindavan has now slackened. Because of intense love, the gopis could not stop thinking of Krishna for a moment. So I'll read the translation from 36 to 39. Mai avishya mana krishnam vimukta shesha vritti yat anusmarayanto mam nityam achiran mam upashyatha. Because your minds are totally absorbed in me and free from all other engagement, you remember me always, and so you will very soon have me again in your presence. Ya maya kridata ratryam vane yasmin vraja astitah alabdha rasaha kalayan kalyanon mapur mad virya chintaya. Although some gopis had to remain in the cowherd village and so could not join the rasa dance to sport with me at night in the forest, they were nonetheless fortunate. Indeed, they attained me by thinking of my potent pastimes. Shri Shuka Vacha Evam Priyatamam Adishtam Akarnya Vraja Yoshitah Tauchur Uddhavam Pritas Tat Sandesho Gatah Smritihi. Shukadeva Goswami said, the women of Vraja were pleased to hear this message from their dearmost Krishna. His words having revived their memory, they addressed Uddhava as follows. Gopya uchuhu dishtyathyo hata kamso yadunam sanugo agarat dishyaptair labdha sarvarthai Kushalayaste achyuto adhuna. The gopis said, "It is very good that Kamsa, the enemy and persecutor of the Yadus, has now been killed, along with his followers. Although it is very good that Lord Achyuta is living happily in the company of his well wishing friends and relatives, whose every desire is now fulfilled." Please recite text translation for text 40. Gentle Uddhava is the elder brother of Gada, now bestowing on the city woman the pleasure that actually belongs to us. We suppose those ladies worship him with generous glances full of affectionate, shy smiles. Om Ajnanatimirandhasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayyam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yuta Padakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavamsya Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunatham Vitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadhutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakha Vitamsya Namo Vishnupadaya Krishna Pristhaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swaminiti Namine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Pashyata Deshatarine Namo Mahavadanyaya Krishna Prema Pradayate Krishnaya Krishna Chaitanya Namine Gauratushe Namaha. He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namastute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanusute Devi Pranamami Haripriye Vancha Kalpatarubhyasya Kripa Sindhubheva Cha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namah. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna. So, after Krishna leaves, as a pastime, when Krishna leaves Vrindavan and goes to Mathura, so there starts the Aishwarya Leela of Krishna. Madhurya is in Vrindavan and Mathura, Dwarka, Kurukshetra, Hastinapur and other places, Aishwarya Leela, where Krishna is as the prince or the king. So the chapters when Akrura brings Krishna back to Mathura. From there, all the Aishwarya Leelas. Then this one chapter comes, which is again of Vrindavan, because Uddhava has been sent to Vrindavan. And after meeting Nanda Baba and Mother Yashoda and all other cowherd boys, Uddhava is meeting these cowherd girls who wanted to meet Uddhava not in front of everyone because they knew that something has come for us, Krishna's message. And not very far from Nanda Bhavan, there is a place called Uddhava Kyari. It's a place where Uddhava is sitting with the gopis and giving the message to these gopis of Krishna. So in the text 34th, now he started giving Brahma Gyan, that why you are sad, Krishna is everywhere, You don't have to worry. Krishna has not gone anywhere. He is sarvatra. He is present everywhere. So why are you crying? So these gopis didn't like that. Anyone who is testing the highest nectar of Krishna consciousness, why they would compromise with the nectar? It's all about Krishna consciousness, but there's a lower level. So they kind of become angry, and they are telling Uddhava that, do you think that after tasting the sweet nectar of Krishna consciousness in full, we want to taste this, which is like the sap, some milky substance come out of the tree, sap from the neem tree. Neem is anyways a bitter tree. Why we want to taste this? So you take it back. And gopis are telling Uddhava, and we will tell you what to do with this knowledge. You are giving us Brahma Gyan, you take this knowledge and keep it with you. When Krishna will leave those women girls, those girls, the women city girls, when Krishna will leave them, because it is nature of Krishna to leave everyone, what he will do is he will give you the taste and then he will leave. That's how Krishna does with everyone. So when Krishna will leave these girls of Mathura, then you give them this Brahma Gyan. So keep it with you. So they are very angry and sarcastically using these words. So obviously Krishna will eventually leave Mathura, and he will not stay much in Dwarka also. Because that is what, now in today's verse, we will see Krishna, what he is trying to say. And then Krishna's message reads, when her lover is far away, a woman thinks of him more than when he is present before her. And in 36th verse, Krishna says, because your minds are totally absorbed in me and free from all other engagement, you remember me always, so you will very soon have me again in your presence. Very interesting what Krishna speaks in Bhagavad Gita, he is speaking here. Yeah? That's why Srila Prabhupada says there is absolutely no difference. Shri Shri Radharas Bihari Bhagavan ki jai, Sitaram Lakshman Hanuman ki jai, Shri Shri Gaurnitai ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai. So Srila Prabhupada in one of the lecture, while speaking on Bhagavad Gita, he says there is absolutely no difference because Krishna is absolute. So there is no difference between his pastime with the gopis in Rasa Leela and his pastime speaking Bhagavad Gita to Arjuna. It's very difficult to comprehend how they both are same. Here Krishna speaks. Now in Bhagavad Gita, what message Krishna is giving? Manmana bhava mad bhakto. Become my devotee. Engage your mind in me. A 12th chapter also, the topmost, the 5 levels Krishna is talking about bhakti. The topmost he says, absorb yourself in me. That means the mind is very difficult. For a conditioned soul, it's very difficult to absorb his mind in Krishna. So what Krishna is teaching through this example, when I am with you, Krishna is telling the gopis, when I was with you, your senses were engaged in me, not the mind. So I left all of you so that now your mind can be engaged in me. And Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur explains how the mind is more important to engage in Krishna consciousness than the senses, because mind is the leader of the senses. So very interesting and very important lesson for all of us, how we have to engage our mind. Such a sad situation we are in, very poor level of our consciousness. that it is very difficult for us to engage even the senses, what to talk about the mind. If we are able to engage our mind in Krishna consciousness, then we have achieved everything. But here, it's very difficult even to engage the senses. How many times we take darshan of Krishna? How many times in our whole life we would have taken darshan of Krishna? But when we take darshan of Krishna, standing in front of the Supreme Lord, the mind is not there. So eventually the eyes also cannot retain that attention. The attention span is very less. Because mind drags the senses away. We are hearing Krishna Katha, but ears will eventually leave that place and go. Go where? It will start hearing and speaking of what that individual wants. So it's very difficult to engage. Even our senses. Here Krishna is saying, higher than senses is mind. And engage your mind in me. But even senses getting engaged in Krishna, for us it's very difficult. So what do? We have experienced, we are chanting. So once a disciple asked Srila Prabhupada that my mind goes away when I am chanting. So I am not able to do my chanting attentively. So Prabhupada very, innocently, Prabhupada responded. Prabhupada said, here is your tongue, here is your ear. The voice has to go, mantra, the sound of Maha Mantra has to go from your tongue to ears. What is the difficulty? It's just few inches. But we know that this Maha Mantra to travel few inches, what Krishna is saying, you make mantra travel few inches and I will make you travel unlimitedly back to my home. Just based on this mantra. But this few inches also is getting so difficult. There's another thing which keeps us engaged, and there is no problem of mind when we are talking on the phone. Hours and hours we are talking, hearing. But mantra we are able to somehow speak. That too sleeps conquerors. But somehow we are able to speak, but we can't hear. Why? Because the mind is not there. And that's why Krishna is telling, engage your mind. So then what do? Now the mind is not engaged, the senses are not engaged. So when knowledge acquiring senses are not engaged, we engage working senses in service of Krishna. We start from there. Hands and legs, at least we can start from there. That is why Srila Prabhupada created so many services, so that we can focus. Somehow this mind, which is so ruthless, because it will not let us perform bhakti. So that is why when we do heart services, we clean the temple, we clean the vessels, we polish the paraphernalia of the Lord, hands are engaged, legs are engaged. And gradually our senses will come, and then our mind will come. It will take time. That's what Srila Prabhupada says. When you are mopping the floor in the temple hall, is equal to a pujari doing the shringar of the Lord. Both are same. Because it is not the activity, it is the consciousness and whether the mind is engaged or not. And that's why sometimes when the mind is becoming very restless, it is recommended that we take up some services which will really make us sweat like a pig, so that our mind comes back. So here Krishna is saying that I was with all of you and your senses were engaged. Now I have gone away so that your mind can be deeply absorbed in me. And then he says, although some gopis had to remain in the cowherd village and so could not join the rasa dance. Well, we know that when Krishna played his flute at Vamshivat in Vrindavan, only gopis could hear that. And Krishna says this also in Bhagavad Gita. Tesham satad yuktanam bhajatam priti purvakam. That when you do bhajan priti purvakam, then what happens? Then you can hear me and I will show you the path. So gopis were engaged constantly in priti. With priti, they were engaged in Krishna consciousness. So they could hear. Some of the gopis, they left their homes, they left their services, they left their children, their husbands, their in-laws, relatives, and ran towards the forest to be with Krishna. But some gopis could not. Krishna is saying even they are fortunate. Why? Because they could not come. And we read in Krishna book that one of the gopi actually left her body. Because they could not come and they were so intensely thinking about Krishna. So Krishna says, I was actually there with them. So Krishna is very far and Krishna is very near. It depends whether we are opening the doors of our heart for Krishna and allow him to come in. In material world also we have seen, if we have someone or if we have something, then we don't value them. We take them very casually. But when we lose them, or when we lose any possession we have, then we realize what we have lost. Now that's material calculation. Here gopis have lost Krishna in one way. Krishna has left them. So they are so much absorbed, they cannot do anything, they cannot think anything, they cannot talk about anything else, they just focus on Krishna. In fact, while Uddhava was giving this message, Uddhava saw that these gopis are enacting different pastimes. So some gopi will become Putana, some gopi will become Trinavrat, and some will become Krishna, and they'll enact pastimes. So much absorbed in Krishna. So, even if someone could not come, some gopis could not come for Rasa Leela, I actually went there to be with them. So that is Krishna consciousness. So it's absolute. But still, gopis are not convinced. They think this is Brahma Gyan, that Krishna is absolute, he is present everywhere. Just read about him, hear about him, this is for us. But one who has Krishna with them, how can they be just, solaced or pacified just by some Krishna Katha? But this text, where Krishna is talking about the gopis could not come, they were a little bit pacified. And that is why in the next verse, Shukadeva Goswami will speak. The women of Vraja were pleased to hear this message from their dearmost Krishna. His words having revived their memory, they addressed Uddhava as follows. Now they were pleased that even though Krishna is far, actually Krishna is here. Krishna was there. Vasudeva Krishna left Vrindavan to Mathura because he came from Mathura, so he went back. But Yashoda Nandan Krishna, he always stays in Vrindavan. He never leaves Vrindavan. So then why all these Brajavasis were not able to see Krishna if he was there? They were seeing him. They would see Krishna walking in front of them, Krishna talking to them, Krishna enacting different pastimes. But they were thinking that because we love Krishna so much that we are actually able to see him. But he is there. So this viraha bhav, which Mahaprabhu came to taste, this intensifies the bhakti. This intensifies our level of Krishna consciousness. Otherwise, when initially Uddhava started delivering the message of Krishna, the gopis were very angry. They told Uddhava, you are a fool. You are giving us this message. Do you think this will help us? And then Uddhava will realize that actually this message is not helping them. Rather, their love for Krishna is helping me to become more Krishna conscious. What was the level of Uddhava? What was the level of Uddhava's Krishna consciousness? It's written, Uddhava looked like Krishna exactly. Not only the external appearance, he will look, not only the dress, his face and everything will look like Krishna. That's why when he was sitting with Nanda Baba, the gopis, the cowherd girls, they came and they got little confused. Is he Krishna? Same dress, same face, very similar, same bodily complexion. Is he Krishna? They were not sure. Because Krishna would not behave in that way. The behavior is very particular. So then when Uddhava saw in the eyes of gopis, he saw with a different, he saw in a different way. So gopis understood, he is not Krishna. Krishna will never look at us like this. So now, finally, after delivering the message, these gopis are getting pacified. And eventually, Srimati Radharani will start speaking, which we will see in the later verses. So gopis are saying to Uddhava, the gopis said, it is very good that Kamsa, the enemy and persecutor of the Yadus, has now been killed along with his followers. So they were getting the news that now Kamsa has been killed along with his followers. So in a way, if Krishna has gone to Mathura to kill Kamsa, and the work is now done, it's accomplished, why is he not coming back? Because he said, I'll just go and come back. So why is Krishna not coming back? If the work is done, if we go for some work, we complete the work and we come back to temple. Why is Krishna not coming? So they'll give the reason. And it is also very good that the Lord Achyuta is happily in the company of his well-wishing friends and relatives whose every desire is now fulfilled. Why Krishna is not coming? They are saying Krishna is not coming because now he is with his own relatives. Because now everyone knows in Vrindavan that Devaki and Vasudev are Krishna's mother and father. And all other Yaduvamshis and other are relatives of Krishna. Now Krishna is amongst his relatives. When a child goes to school, he knows his teacher, he knows his classmates, and he is kind of comfortable in few weeks with his classmates and teacher. But eventually when he sees his mother, his father, then he goes with them. So gopis are now feeling that they are feeling like that we are not Krishna's. That's why Krishna has left us to be with his own relatives. This is the feeling. This is the feeling because of intense love towards Krishna. Then, now they'll come to the point. Ultimately, what happened? Gentle Uddhava is the elder brother of Gada. Now we heard in the purport, Gada is the son of Devarakshita. Devarakshita is sister of Devaki. Actually, Devaki had 13 sisters, so total 14 sisters. Some say 14, some say 17. All the sisters were married to Vasudeva. So when Kamsa was to find a suitable husband for Devaki, he was looking for some match, but he could not find someone suitable. So he told to Ugrasen that all our sisters have gone to Vasudeva. So why not Devaki also be married to Vasudeva? So Devaki also was married to Vasudeva. And then one of the sister of Devaki was Devarakshita. And she had a son whose name was Gada. So that's why Kachid Gada Agrajaha. The Agraja, the elder brother of Gada. Why they are using this word? Why they are not using words like Giridhari or Yashoda Nandan? We know that Arjuna also uses different words for Krishna, different names for Krishna in Bhagavad Gita because of the context. So they are saying now Krishna is connecting more with Devaki and Vasudeva and his relatives. So that is why they are connecting there. The gopis, by addressing Krishna in the way as Gada Agrajaha, indicate that he now thinks of himself mostly as son of Devaki. So what happens? Now they are saying, because Krishna is more connecting himself with Devaki, so his connections with Vrindavan has slackened, become loose. We have seen in the material world, it happens. It happens with everyone. There is no relationship in the material world which does not cease up and down. So a mother, a woman gives birth to a child, she becomes a mother. Her entire attention is there. The child is life and soul of mother. But there are other engagements. And then gradually the child grows, then another child comes. So then the shift is there of the thought process. Then child grows, goes to school. He also was dependent on mother and father. And then he goes to school and college. Then he finds a new group of friends and connecting more with them than the parents. And eventually he gets married, connects more with the wife than mother and father. So it happens with everyone. But Krishna is not like that. Because we are limited. Krishna is unlimited. Krishna is not limited like us. So that is why relationship once established with Krishna will never get slackened. Yad gatvana nivartante tadhama paramam mama. One who has come to my planet or my spiritual abode, he will never go back. Because that relationship is not like relationship in the material world. So Krishna's relationship with Vrindavan has not slackened, will never slacken. Eternally, that relationship is established. It can only grow. It can never go down. But because of the pain these gopis are having in their heart, they are speaking like this. Sometimes, because of the pain from other person, we may actually chastise that person. So, a father may tell his son, a grown-up son, who is not listening to him, who is not responsible. So the father will say, actually because of your behavior and because of your non-compliance, I am hurt. And then he will chastise his son. So here, why gopis are talking like that? Because they are hurt. Krishna is not there. So then they say, is the elder brother of Gada now bestowing on the city woman the pleasure that actually belongs to us? Now here comes, in a material sense, the envy of women. If you want to experience, you go to cows. Go to Talasri farm. There's so many cows. You just spend time with one cow, a few minutes, and leave that cow, go to another cow. This cow will actually kill you. Why did you leave me? Okay, you left me, that's one thing. Why did you go to other cow? This is females, no? Feminine gender, this is there. It's an inbuilt feature of a feminine body. It's nothing to do with, whether someone is educated or not educated, someone is a city girl or someone is a village girl. No, it's there everywhere. Yeah. Feminine gender is possessive. Cats, very possessive. And male cats, they don't care. You don't give them anything, they'll find out. But female cats, they want attention. So feminine gender is like that, they want attention. And if you leave the attention and go to another female, that upsets them more. So you can experience that in Talasri when you meet cows. Now here, gopis are saying that Krishna is meant for us. His love is meant for us. How can he share that love with other women in the city? So that's what they are experiencing. We suppose, okay, now one more thing they are saying. We worship Krishna because of our intense love towards him, we worship. See, worship does not necessarily mean, what worship we are trying to do is in form of Aishwarya. Typical, okay, Krishna is standing, Srimati Radharani is standing, we are doing Aarti, all mantra, ucharana, dhoop, deep, jal, phal, phool, everything. That is one worship. There's another worship, is main worship involves emotions. So here, gopis are trying to say, our emotions are invested in Krishna. So we are worshipping Krishna through our emotions. And what Krishna is doing? He is worshipping these city women. So what we are giving to Krishna, and Krishna is distributing to other girls in the Mathura. That is paining more. If you give someone a gift out of love, you give your friend or your brother a gift out of love, and that fellow, he distributes that gift to someone else, then you will feel bad. It took me, it's your birthday, Prabhu, it took me 2 days, 3 days to go and select something, and I found something which is so useful for you, and you just give to others. So you feel bad. So here gopis are saying we invested our love, our emotions, our expressions, everything. That's why this word is used, worship. So we worshipped you, and what you are doing? You are in turn worshipping those women in city. That will go on. in next verse, this will continue. So that is actually affecting them. We suppose those ladies worship him with generous glances full of affectionate, shy smiles. So this is more, a female talking about other female. It's not about men and women. It's about how Krishna has created the bodies. And Rishabhadev, he says that a soul will act as per the body soul has received. Like we all have received the body of human beings. So we'll act like human beings. We cannot act like dogs or cats or cows, or birds and fly away. No, we cannot act. That's why it's bondage. It's bandhan. We are bound to act like a human being because the soul is put into a human's body. So similarly, as per karma, the soul is either bounded in a man's body or in a woman's body. So man will act like a man, a woman will act like a woman. And that's natural. There's no harm. The problem is happening these days where man is acting like a woman and woman is acting like a man. This is becoming very popular. And this is leading towards destruction. And you go and find out whether it is true or not. I spoke with many psychologists. I met psychiatrists, I met lawyers. Same thing everyone has to. I met a doctor very recently. He's a neurosurgeon, 50 years old. And I said, he was talking to me, so I said, you are a neurosurgeon, so many cases will come to you. Don't you see this thing happening these days in last few years, where a man is acting like a woman and woman is acting like a man, or man is having feminine qualities and woman is having masculine qualities. He was actually, giving me some treatment. For a moment he just paused and he started thinking. And he said, Prabhuji, you are right. I have a son who's 17 years old. रूठ जाता है. Is this a masculine quality? His son supposed to be rough and tough. रूठ के बैठ जाता है. Then he said yes. Then he started thinking about it and he said yes, this is happening. So a woman behaving like a woman is natural. A man behaving like a man is natural. So here, gopis, even though they are transcendental, they are beyond man and woman. Their bodies are not like our body. Their bodies are transcendental. They have descended from spiritual world, but they are showing that how a woman feels. Srila Rupa Goswami also says how Krishna is a very possessive lover. Now, possessiveness is a quality which mostly women have. But Krishna is a very possessive lover, Rupa Goswami says. That means, if you are a devotee of Krishna, then Krishna does not like you going to any other person. Be it a demigod, there cannot be another god, but even demigods. He does not like that. So we comply with that and we worship Krishna and not go here and there, because Krishna does not like that. So here, cowherd girls, and especially Radharani, will start explaining more, and they'll ask from Uddhava. Earlier, when Uddhava started speaking about Krishna, So gopis were becoming very angry. You do not have, oh Uddhava, you are very learned, a disciple of Brahaspati, but you don't seem to be very wise. Eh? Don't you know, we are trying very hard to forget Krishna. And you have come and reminding us of Krishna again. A person is trying to forget something and you remind. It's like, a person, sometimes, people may go for camping outside and they, even in Navdeep Mandal Parikrama, we sleep in tents and all that. And especially when you go to this different places, Jagannath temple, so there's forest. Someone who's not used to, they may be scared. So somehow he prayed to Lord Narsingadev, he sang Narsingh Arati 3 times and is somehow focusing to sleep. And then you say, Prabhu, in this forest, there may be someone, them Atmas may be there. So if you hear the sound, don't worry, because it's Dham. Now this whole night is gone for him. Even though he's in Holy Dham, but he will think again negative. So negative we think. So here, gopis are telling, we are trying to forget Krishna, and you have come and you are reminding us again of Krishna. You doesn't seem to be very wise, and that's why they call him a fool. But gradually, by the instruction, they are remembering Krishna more and more, and they were pacified, and now they start speaking. So these are the 2 verses, and from tomorrow onwards you will see more verses what gopis are speaking. Hare Krishna. Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Granthra Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai. Any comments? Yes, Prabhu. It will come.
Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. Thank you for such a wonderful lecture. So, like you were mentioning about the mind, that mind cannot be controlled, and it can be controlled through service. So, we see in 5th canto, Jad instruct the Lavadana about, he gives various instructions regarding the mind. And at last he says that by service to the spiritual master and Krishna, this can be controlled. So Prabhupada also says that there are, one is material desire, another is spiritual desire. So materially, from material point of view, we see that we have many desires coming up, and that's why mind is not controlled, because we have excessive desires. So in the similar fashion, one who comes to bhakti or one who is serving, so automatically he will be having many spiritual desires. So with these spiritual desires, how can mind really be controlled? Actually, my question is, can mind really be controlled, or is it like that Krishna controls our mind when we come to bhakti?
Okay. So 2 questions, can mind be controlled or Krishna controls the mind, and the spiritual and the material desire. So what is material desire and what is spiritual desire? Thinking about some material object, is it material desire? No. Thinking about Krishna, is it spiritual desire? No. It depends, why are you thinking? What is the intention? And Prabhupada is thinking, I need some donation so that I can print books. Is this material desire? Prabhupada is thinking, someone is looking for someone who can sponsor a ticket for him to go to US. Is this material desire? It is desire of his spiritual master. And to execute or to fulfill that desire, Prabhupada needs material possessions. Like Srila Prabhupada said once to a reporter that for me, I can sit under a tree. I don't need anything. But you all will not come if we will not build such gorgeous temples. So, building temples, an entire organization, even though it is material, but the desire to build is not material because there is a desire of a spiritual master. On the contrary, if someone is just standing there looking at Radha Rasa Bihari, okay, 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 15 minutes, half an hour, and then some senior devotee says, Prabhu, come, let us do this service. No, I want only Krishna. So is that a spiritual desire? No, it is material desire. You want to enjoy Krishna. Krishna is the enjoyer. We are to be enjoyed by Krishna. So even thinking about Krishna may be a material desire if it is not in line with parampara. If it is not in line with spiritual master's desire. So intention is more important. Right? Like Srila Prabhupada, Vrindavan temple construction got delayed because no cement. And Prabhupada came, Prabhupada was not happy that construction has been delayed. So Srila Prabhupada said, okay, why it is delayed? First Prabhupada became very heavy, very angry with all of them. Then Prabhupada said, what is the problem? He said, we don't have cement. Prabhupada said, okay. And he made some few calls. And next day, the trucks of cement were coming from Delhi. And Prabhupada told his disciple that this is the go down, this is the key. You have to count every bag of cement. Because cement was very rare. It was not easily available in market like today. So you have to keep in lock and key and you have to count every bag. So from morning 8 o'clock, this devotee would count till 9 o'clock in the night. And then he said, Prabhupada, what about my chanting? Prabhupada said, counting cement bags is your chanting. So that is in line with the mission. So that is spiritual. So what is spiritual? What is material? अपने इंद्रिय प्रीति वांछा तारे बोले काम कृष्ण इंद्रिय प्रीति इच्छा धरे प्रेम नाम. Spiritual is what is for Krishna, what is for Guru, and material is what is for me. So if I want to enjoy Krishna, that's material desire because you are not enjoyer. So that's one thing. Second question you asked whether we can control the mind or Krishna will control the mind. So mind is like Kaliya. Brijvasis didn't try to control the Kaliya. It's Krishna who controlled. So we cannot control the mind. It's Krishna who will control the mind. We have to allow Krishna, we have to call Krishna to control our mind. So one who is trying to attentively chant, who's trying, who's not chanting attentively, but he's trying to attentively chant, Krishna will help him. At least he's trying. That Krishna, I'm not able to control my mind. My mind is running in all the directions. So please control my mind. That is the chanting. And then Krishna will actually, holy name, Krishna in the form of Harinam will actually control the mind. We cannot control the mind. And what is mind control? Mind control is when which is aligned with Krishna. So that is why Krishna consciousness. Why Srila Prabhupada named the organization as Krishna consciousness. When our consciousness is aligned with Krishna. And you said right when you quoted this Jada Bharat preaching to Rahugana that 3 times Jada Bharat gives knowledge about mind once to Rahugana. But King Rahugana didn't understand. He asked again. So there's another time. Sukadeva Goswami has given this 3 answers, all 3 times, 3 chapters. So then, after all that, when nothing was happening, so Maharaj Rahugana was actually Jada. Bharat Maharaj was not Jada. His name was Jada Bharat. So we are all Jada. Jada Buddhi, Manda Buddhi. We cannot understand. So that is why Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he enacted the role of a jiva. That Guru Mora Murkha Dekhi Karila Shasan. My Guru saw me that I am Murkha. I am not intelligent. And that is why he gave me instruction. that you chant, you cannot understand scriptures. You are not qualified to read scriptures. And we saw, after becoming a devotee, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he never, preached based on scriptures like opening Bhagavad Gita or Bhagavatam, just by holy name. And with simple logics, he, converted people. Whether be it Buddhist, holy name, Prakashananda Saraswati, only one shloka. The Mayavadis, they consider Vedas and Puranas very important. So, he quoted this verse, Harer Nama Ekavalam, Kalo Nasteva Gatirannata. The holy name of Hari, holy name of Hari, holy name of Hari. There is nothing else in this age of Kali. And now Prakashananda Saraswati was thinking, if I accept this, then all what I have preached is gone. I am telling this sannyasi not to chant and dance like a madman and read scriptures. But he is quoting from scriptures. If I accept this, then I have to leave everything. And if I counteract this statement, then I am going against scriptures, which I am reading. See this Mahaprabhu, very intelligent preacher. He caught him. Same with Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya. So after that, Mahaprabhu only preached holy name. So that is why we have to understand what is Guru giving us. And that's why Jada Bharat says this, when you smear the dust of the lotus feet of a pure devotee, then only you will get purified. That means serve the spiritual master, serve Prabhupada. So just we do as it is, what Prabhupada is saying. Prabhupada is telling us to stand. We use our intelligence, extra intelligence. Hindi mein bolte hain na, dead shana. We use our intelligence. Why shall I stand here? Because Prabhupada told you to stand here. What if your service in Vaikuntha is just to stand as a doorman, like Jai Vijay? No mobile. You are standing, there's no mobile. What will you do? Thoda ghum ke aata hu, kidhar nahi jana hai, stand there. So that is a problem with today's conditioned souls. If Prabhupada is telling stand, we stand. If he is telling read books, we read books. If he is telling go out and distribute books, we distribute books. If he is telling worship Krishna, worship Krishna. If he is telling sleep, you sleep. How many hours? 24 hours you sleep, you sleep. You will become pure devotee. Why? Because you are following the instructions of a pure devotee. And for that, you need other two. You need to control your mind, and you need to change your desires from material to spiritual. And how will you control the mind? You cannot control the mind. So again you go back to Prabhupada. I am not able to control the mind. Then Prabhupada will give you service. Then do that service. But mind is not controlled, so how do you do that service? This is Vishama Bandhan. Vicious circle we are trapped into. So struggle to serve what Prabhupada is saying. Struggle with your mind to serve. And eventually you will find taste in the holy name. That is the perfection of our life. So struggle. Service is not easy. Following instructions of spiritual master is not easy. Nowhere it is said it is easy. But we must do it. It's not optional. We must do it. When there's a fire in the house, whether you do know or do not know, you just start putting water. That's how you will extinguish the fire. So just follow. So struggle to strive. Strive will be the better word. Strive to serve Srila Prabhupada. And then you can actually see Radha Rasa Bihari. Otherwise not. Hare Krishna. Srila Prabhupada ki Jai.